Hey guys, doing? Today we're going to be doing a first ever impressions tier list, right? This is basically my impressions on all the heroes in Age of Empires Mobile and how I've seen them being played on the open field, in Apex Arena, and even in the Wonder Contest, right? So what we've seen, who's good, who's bad, and hopefully the more we do in Empire versus Empire, the more PvP action and the more testing we do ourselves, we can actually improve and update this tier list. It's not going to be a one set in stone list. So if you enjoy tier list and you want to see an actual progression and see who's good, who's bad, smash like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to Sneaky Army, and let's dive into some Age of Empires mobile content here, right? So we've got, honestly, all the different heroes to go through, and I am just going to go through what's on screen, and at certain points, I will showcase maybe a pop-up of that hero's kit, but not to all of them, right? So the first one we're going to go talk about on screen, which you won't be able to see, is going to be Sun Tzu, right? Sun Tzu. I'm not going to put him in B straight away, but let's just talk about this hero because he is a cool tactician, an infantry hero, really interesting that he enters this charging state, obviously gets those stacks, and honestly does an absurdly good amount of damage. And especially when you go into the next season, you can still be running a Sun Tzu March if you want to run Sun Tzu with potentially a Charlemagne. That'd be a very powerful double trigger activation that we did test a little bit on the Pioneer test server before obviously it went down. So where am I going to personally put him? I'm actually going to keep him in B. It's going to be funny. I actually think he's a pretty good, pretty solid hero. I'm not going to put him any higher because honestly these are going to be super tight, and I think when you see the S and A tier heroes it will make sense. But I do think he's probably the gatekeeper, and if there was like a B plus, he would be definitely in that category. Now we have our good old friend King Derrick, and the thing is with King Derrick, I'm just gonna put him in the C tier. The thing is with King Derrick, as everyone knows, you are able to actually fully awaken this hero from the very first Giants Raw event through just pure activity, and I didn't do that, and that's a big slap on my wrist. However, if you did do the same and you didn't max out this hero, you're going to be able to max him out again, because I do believe the Age of Empires mobile team are bringing out a second Giants Raw event at some point, so you're able to get those sculptures. The thing is with this hero, in the early game, he's actually pretty good as an infantry choice. However, as soon as you start getting any infantry hero that is a 3-star, honestly, any 3-star infantry hero, they just outshine him. Because the thing is with King Derrick, even though he's a cool free-to-play hero, he's very linear on what he wants to do. He really cares about routing effects, and yeah, it's a good early game hero, but apart from that, you're not going to be wasting sleep over him. So to be honest, he's a C-class hero for me. I'm just going to put him in there. Now, let's kind of talk about one hero that I got a lot of experience on, because it is one of my favorite heroes of all time. And if I didn't put this in, you're going to be obviously like, Sneaky, you're an idiot. And I'm like, yeah. But Mulan's an S tier hero, and yes, she is, man. Especially in Season 1. Mulan, 3-starred or 5-starred. If you have a 5-star maxed out Mulan March, you absolutely do work. It is terrifying on how much damage Mulan actually pumps out. It's crazy. And the fact that in Season 2, you can amplify this with Bellevue in your lineup, and you can run a Bellevue, Mulan, and Attila, or if you want to remove Attila elsewhere, you can run Bellevue, Rani, and obviously Mulan. Absolutely carnage on how much damage that pumps out still, and it's just through Mulan, right? So really have to put her in her place. She is S tier. If you don't think she is, I would love to hear the reasoning why in the comments down below, but my waifu has to be up in the S tier 100%. And another S tier hero that a lot of people might not agree with is actually going to be Hannibal too. I have to kind of put both of these guys up here straight away while we're talking about them. Hannibal is such a powerful hero that the fact that is when he's in your murder ball, not as a 1v1 hero, because most of the time, I will admit, I reckon you can find special lineups like I did with the El Cid lineup. It could beat him in a 1v1. But that's not why you're using him. You're using him because you are stealing those stats and you are dealing an absurd amount of damage too. And if you're running stuff like Ashoka, he is a very powerful combination hero with Hannibal. However, Hannibal on his own, if you just have this guy and you've got a Justinian and a Cleo, he still does an absurd amount of work just because of him alone. So if I didn't put Hannibal in S tier, I think I would do, honestly, a disservice to all the cavalry mains out there. And honestly, a lot of the season 1 players that do have Hannibal, that honestly slap me around still with that march. It is a disgustingly good march, right? Now, let's kind of throw some other quick fire shots. Let's kind of fill this kind of gap up so we don't have a super long video to start off with, right? I'm going to put Diao-chan in the D tier, right? Just put her in there, straight in there. Darius, D tier. I'm gonna put Cleo also in D tier, but some people might argue she's a C tier hero. I'm gonna put her in D tier, and I'm gonna explain why. These 3 heroes, just generally, yes, they're okay. Like, Cleo, she's okay. She's okay with, obviously, our Hannibal. However, any sort of tactician, cavalry, hero just outshines her. Just simply outshines her straight away. So that's why we don't really want to, honestly, evaluate this hero in the top. And if you're wondering how this ranking table is, I am going to go on the burst on, like, how good that hero is. And if you're going to invest into that hero, you could maybe use this tier list as a guide, but I think I'm going to make an investment tier list afterwards, right? So if you want an investment tier list, let me know in the comments section down below. But at the moment, I'm going to keep this just due to power rating, the most powerful heroes in Age of Empires Mobile, right? So now we've got that out of the way, you know, Darius the Great, kind of the same boat in Cleo. And the thing is with Diao-chan, she is the most power farming hero in the game. She's a phenomenal power farming hero in the game. So that's why I'm going to put her actually all down in the D tier. You don't need to invest into them, but they're there and they do their jobs, right? They do their jobs. So now let's kind of speak about some other heroes, right? Let's kind of think about an A-style hero. Who do I consider an A-style hero? And one of them is going to be Theodora. And the reason why I'm putting Theodora in A tier is because she's a tactician, archer, and infantry unit, and she's a support. And that is very, very lucrative in Age of Empires Mobile. The thing is, you're gonna find, guys, better damage dealers all the time throughout the life cycle of Age of Empires Mobile. But the supports and the really good tanks is what's really scarce. And the thing is, Theodora fulfills that role really, really well. She can obviously heal your units. She obviously increases the damage she can deal. She does everything you want as a support healer for the tactician march. So for me, no matter what, I think she is a phenomenal hero. One of the best, if not top 3 supports in the game so far, especially as something you can just flexibly put anywhere as even an investment for a hero, right? So she's where I'm looking at on A tier, and there's going to be other A tier heroes for different reasons as well, but I needed to put her in there, right? So now let's talk about some other heroes. Let's talk about Tariq. Where does Tariq go? The thing is with Tariq, I'm honestly going to put him in C tier. He's obviously better than King Derrick here, but the thing is, when I have personally got him, he's pretty good with one match and one match only, and that is the El Cid, Tariq, and Bushra march. However, from testing ourselves on the Pioneer test server, there is a better option for this, and that is YSG. And the thing is, YSG you could put in the B category or at the top of C. It's going to be hard, and I might need to change this around towards the end of the video. But for now, I'm going to put him in the B category. And the reason why YSG is better for that El Cid match compared to that Tariq is the skill choices with Quick Wit. Quick Wit allows you to have double the chances of actually triggering all of your skills. And the fact that you've got Peerless Strike, which is increasing might and healing you, and you've got all these other buff effects, you can turn your YSG into a machine gun support that really does make your LCID hit like a truck. And the thing is, in the future, with other Marshal Infantry, not Marshal Infantry, Marshal Cavalry, there we go, Marshal Cavalry units in the game, you're going to be able to use this hero definitely as a secondary or a third hero in that supportive role slot still, even if you don't want to use him as an offensive hero. That's why I think he's B. I think he's a really good hero in general. He's not bad, and I do think he outshines, unfortunately, Tariq from my personal experience, right? Let's do some more quick shotgun ones. The Marshal Infantry. At the moment, I'm going to put all of the infantry, Marshal Infantry units. Where's the other samurai? I'm trying to spot his... there he is. I'm going to put them all in the C category currently. And the thing is, anytime I've used these guys or gone against these guys, they just feel like they're lacking something. There's just something in their kit they're missing, and I don't know what it is. Because they deal some good damage, I'm going to be real, they really do. But they just don't feel like they survive enough, or there's just something about them personally that I just don't like. And that's from my personal experience when it comes to, obviously, those three heroes. You can have a different opinion. And again, maybe in the future, guys, any of these rankings could change from the meta, right? Maybe there's a buff to Marshal Infantry and those three heroes, and they get put up on the list. Or we do some better testing, and we figure out, guess what? This is the actual setup you want, and they're monsters, right? But for me, I'm going to put them in the C category. I wouldn't waste any sculptures on these guys either. Let your tavern just unlock them over time, right? Now, let's talk about some other really good heroes, right? Some good heroes that I think are just exceptionally good that you can put in your marches, right? And these are going to be heroes that are generally just overall pretty good, but they're not insane, right? That's the main criteria. So the first one that really does come to mind is Richard. I'm going to put Richard in the A slot, same with Leo in the A slot. These two pikemen for different reasons. Obviously, VIP Leonidas 3 and 5-star does absolute work on the open field. However, a lot of people don't have access to that, and King Richard, for what he's worth, is scary good. He's an insanely good pikeman. The fact that he allows you to get obviously swarmed really easily. He's tanky. He deals an absurd amount of AoE damage too. And you can put really good pikemen with him, even at such a low budget, and they work. So like Joan of Arc, for example, she's not the greatest, obviously, pikeman in the game, but with your, Richard, she actually makes him sustain and let him do the work. So for me, these two are definitely A-style heroes, definitely really good, powerful heroes in the game. And another really good A hero I'm going to put, and I think a lot of people are going to get upset that I'm going to put her here, and hear me out. Just hear me out. It is going to be Bushra. People don't like Bushra. I know Sagami doesn't like Bushra. I could even put her... Do you know what? Actually, I lie. I'm going to put her in B. I'll put her in B. Right? Because the thing is, with this support hero, she is really good. The fact that she disarms you, the fact that she recovers units, the fact that she reduces the damage you take when you recover units. Wow. Just wow. And she has more to her kit that you can always change on the fly depending on the meta. And with this hero, you have a Marshal Cav and a Marshal Pikeman. And the thing is, with this does give her brownie points on why she's a good hero. Because she is going to be good with the El Cid lineup, but she's also good, guys, with one of the best, if not S tier, again, heroes later on. That, do you know what? I'm not even going to spoil it. You guys know I love this hero, but Ramcam, right? Ramcam is a Marshal Pikeman, and you're going to be running, I think, always Bushra in that march. And it is so good on how powerful Ramcam is as a support Marshal Pikeman. He's not there to obviously deal damage. He's not there to try and be a super tank. Yes, he can obviously sustain that damage, But what he does is mix your Mulan, he mix that Hannibal, he mix all the other good heroes in the game do better. And if there's not a Ramcam on the field and you're going against a Ramcam, I'm telling you, you will lose trades that you expect to win. And that is the power of this hero, guys. So that is why I think Bushra and even Ramcam deserve their spots at B and S, because Bushra, a really good, flexible hero. You don't need to invest into her super hard. I've got her at 1 star. She's doing okay at 1 star. Obviously, 3 and 5 stars where you really do want her at. I'm going to be real with you. But even at 1 star, she's doing okay, right? Now, let's talk about some other really good heroes, right? Really good heroes. I'm going to put Bellevue in the A tier. She is really good. However, the thing with your Bellevue is you need to 5-star this hero. That is the major bane with Bellevue. The thing is, she does a really good double attack state. She does a really good amount of damage. But the problem is the fact that you have that negative debuff, right? The fact that it is basically reducing your own armor, I believe, off the top of my head, it's not good enough. You're becoming a glass cannon, and people will deal with you really easily. However, when you get her to 5 stars, that is when this hero transforms completely. You remove the negative defect, and honestly, this pumps out so much damage. But again, it's such a long investment to get there to 5 stars to justify her going in the S tier. And I just think she's an actually really good hero that many people will love when they get access to her. 1 star and 3 star, you're going to be happy. 5 star is where it's at. It's really at. So that is my general opinion on Bellevue. Definitely an A-star hero in this game. Lubu. He has to be an S-tier hero. I'm sorry. He's the only Cav on this list so far that is honestly doing work. I mean that, guys. When you get Lubu, he's going to be that cavalry warrior that you've been waiting on to honestly punish the Mulan players. Him with the right setup, if you've got it all maxed out and you've got the good, obviously, lineup, he's going to come up and eat them like Pac-Man eating ghosts. I'm telling you right now. Lubu does an absurd amount of damage with the critical strikes and obviously double attack states with your other heroes that you're going to be pairing with him, right? One of those heroes is going to be Guan Yu, and I'm going to put Guan Yu just in the B tier because he's a B tier hero. He's okay. Unfortunately, I wish he was better, but he's not, right? He does some really good damage. He's definitely better than the other 2 heroes on the list, right? Definitely better than the YSG, in my opinion. Definitely better than the Bushra, in my opinion. Same with the Bellevue. I'll put the Bellevue right up to the top. Definitely better than these guys. I'll put Lubu even like this. This is going to be very controversial. This will be my top 3 so far, right? But when we are looking at Guan Yu, he does a really good amount of critical strike. I'm going to be honest, he does. He does some nice critical strike and damage, but it's just not consistent enough with the Season 1 heroes, right? If we look at, sadly, Harald, I'm going to put Harald in the C tier. Some people might even class him as a D tier hero, and I might actually just put him in there for now. Unfortunately, he just doesn't do anything. That is the best way of putting it. It feels like you invest into that cavalry hero expecting him to do some work with your Guan Yu, and he just doesn't. He doesn't do any sort of work in there. However, one hero that does do a lot of work is Attila, and he's going to be A tier, if not the gatekeeper of A tier. He's basically borderline S tier. And the reason why he's borderline S tier is he's such a good hero that offers double attack state, critical strike, as well. He obviously has one of the best, obviously, skill setups in the game with Hero's Blade, right? Critical insight, and you can get Warrior's Hymn. You can change the whole setup of your march with Attila the Hun in there, and being a warrior archer and a warrior cavalry, you can see where I'm going. This is a must-have support. It works with your Mulans. It works with your Lubu. It's going to work with Guan Yu. You name it, right? So this is kind of why he's up there. I don't know if he's going to be S tier. Some people might want to put him in S tier, but I want to be kind of really clear on why I think certain S tier heroes are S tier for their specific roles, right? Now, let's keep going. We've got a nice flow so far, and I'm going quite quick, and I do wish to put more detailing in this tier list. It's the very first one, and to be honest, we need to get through all the heroes. There's a ton of heroes to get through, right? So I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. If you have, smash like, comment, and subscribe. This is my first impressions. Remember, it is going to change over time as we play Age of Empires Mobile more. Tribuana, A tier, and she is a phenomenal support again in this game. All she is there to do, guys, is help you increase the activation chances of your other infantry marches, and that allows her, honestly, to do some god tier support work. And even with one purple skill, fortification, you don't even need to go for 2 legendary skills if you want to on this hero. She's good as golden, because that one purple skill, even as a low spender, gives you so much value from the armor gain. It's crazy value for tanking her. So honestly, Tribuana is such a good hero. I could put her possibly in S tier, but I'm not going to put her in S tier personally. I think she's like Attila. Both of these two are the gatekeepers. They're like the 2 different guards on the left and right waiting for you to go through the gates, all right? So now we've got, obviously this list is coming down, you can see it, and if you are wondering how I'm doing this, I am on the tier list website on tier maker. Someone made this actual tier list, so if you want, I'll put it in the description down below. And if you want to post your own tier lists on my Discord, guys, you're going to be able to do that. So post your tier lists, what you think, in my community Discord. Make sure you put it in the Age of Empires mobile area while you do that, right? So now let's go to some other major heroes. Queen Seondeok, I'm going to put... This is a hard one because I haven't got too much experience with her. I'm going to be honest, but when I've been looking at all the other tacticians and stuff, I honestly settle on putting her in the C tier. She is going to be good season 2 with Suleiman, but she's not one of those heroes that you have to super invest into to get the most out of her. You're only using her for that skill activation to silence the target, so it has no keyword, so your other heroes can trigger their benefits, right? So I'm only going to put her in C tier. She could be potentially better in my opinion, but we don't have enough data our use of her, right? Same with YSG. I'm going to put YSG in C tier too. Honestly, this hero is actually a big damage dealer. He does an absurd amount of damage, and I will put him above the King Derrick. Same with these guys. I'll put King Derrick actually above these 3 though. But YSG does an insane nuke for tactician archers. However, when you compare that just to the Mulan march, I'm going to be real, guys, it does too much damage. And there is an archer that does a really good job at dealing damage and doing utility, and that is Suleiman. And Suleiman is going to be in the A tier for me, and he's going to be in the top 3 of the A tier because this guy honestly does give tactician archers a name. He is the hero. If you're going to play tactician archers, you're going to run him with Theodora, and depending on what you're going to be setting up, depending on your spend level, you've got YSG, Queen Seondeok, or even Ramses, right? So you've got a load of different options there for you to go there. But he's definitely an A-style hero. Why? He just does an absurd amount of damage. And as well as his actual war skill and signature skill, really good skills to have on the open field. So definitely a no-brainer on there. Love to hear your thoughts down in the comments down below, guys. Any of these picks, again, for you. Josaphine. I'm actually going to put B tier. I know, crazy. The thing is with Josaphine is, she is a free-to-play hero. Remember this. A free-to-play hero that honestly does not need to be replaced for quite a while compared to King Derrick. King Derrick you can replace quite fast in this game. But Josaphine, you can run a Mulan, Josaphine, and an Attila march. And if you don't have that, guess what? You can run a Josaphine, King Derrick, and Attila march. When you go to season 2, you would be running Bellevue with Josaphine and Attila, and that's just a really good double attack state archer combo with a little bit of sustain because of that Josaphine in there. That just really does showcase, honestly, some good out of this hero, especially for free-to-play players. They've got this hero. They're going to be happy to see her, right, in that role. So that's going to be my job on that. Infantry-wise, she's okay. She's okay, but you'll have better options when it comes to Marshal infantry. And let's talk about them. We've been waiting on these. I bet you guys have been waiting on them. Miyamoto, S tier. Just wow. He is an absolute monster. Like, Miyamoto does an absurd amount of damage in the open field, and he can tank so goddamn good as an infantry unit hero too. He is so good. I will admit, his skills are a little bit lackluster. You do have to take Earth Crush, and I wish there was a better effect over Earth's Crush, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But he's a really good, actually, infantry hero, if not one of the best you can have at the moment until someone obviously outscales him in the game. And then you've got Yodit. And Yodit, I'm scared, man. I want to put her in the S tier as well. I think I have to put Yodit in the S tier. She is so good. And the thing is with Yodit, guys, you can get her. She is going to be a legendary Advent Wheel hero, so you're not going to get absolutely ball busted compared to Ashoka, which is obviously an MGE hero, which I will put in the A tier for the same reasons. Because of the damage immunity and just the actual utility support this hero gives you, right? Yodit is an amazing infantry hero, giving you that damage immunity when you're in there. Plus, obviously, having synergy with the Miyamoto and the Tribuana makes her a must-pick for Marshal, for the warrior infantry roles. And then you've got Ashoka, which we've just slid in there in the A tier. Really powerful, insane hero, honestly, when it comes to tactician archers. The thing is, he's so hard to get. It's just so hard to get. So I think that really does limit him and put him in the A tier just because of that one factor alone. And maybe in the future, you're going to be able to get access to Ashoka later down the line. And if you do, you're going to be happy because this guy is crazy with your Hannibal. But definitely an A tier hero in here, right? Now we've got the final line. The final line. And what we'll do these guys in order. So we'll start from this left side and you can see this. So if you guys are wondering for timestamps, you can check out the timestamps as I put through the video. Seong the Great. Just going to put in the C tier. I'm going to be honest. He is pretty good. He's okay. He's definitely better than these other four heroes. He fulfills a role very similar to Queen Seondeok. He reduces damage taken. He's a supportive Marshal cavalry unit that you can use. He's actually really good in combination with a YSG March. But again, I just think you can run YSG with El Cid and Bushra and do a better job in overall, general sense. Our Barabossa, I'm going to put in B tier. He's just good. I'm going to be honest. He's just a good pikeman. He's nothing too special at all. But he will get outclassed by any of the other pikemen in this, up on the other line. But the reason why he's in B and not in C is he's technically the best tanky Season 1 pikeman you get. Because Joan of Arc can fulfill that role, but she's nowhere near as good. She's probably at the bottom of the B rankings. Even Josaphine definitely is better hero than I think than Joan of Arc. And you're going to get Joan of Arc outclassed quite easily by other heroes in Season 2, which we're going to discuss in a moment. El Cid, I'm going to put in the B tier too. It's sad to say that, but El Cid is honestly a hero you need to 5-star, and he will do an absurd, and I mean this, an absurd amount of single target damage to the target. But with that, you need the El Cid, you need the Bushra, and for my March setup, you need the YSG. You can run Tariq. Tariq's still fine, but the one that we liked and what me and Gun Warrior tested for that El Cid video that you all loved, it was El Cid, YSG, and Bushra, and that will do work, right? But it's still nowhere near as much damage as these other heroes, and it's nowhere near as supportive as those other heroes. Now, We're talking about Joan of Arc's replacement, Boudica. And Boudica is definitely an A hero. She's up here with her lineup, and that's the one thing with Boudica. She is a very good replacement hero for Joan of Arc, because Joan of Arc doesn't really do too much in result of support apart from healing with her purple skill and obviously buffing up the units with her other more skills you have of options, right? But Boudica actually increases the might now with her activation chance, meaning your King Richard or your Leonidas, whoever you run in that setup, is gonna do more work. And the thing is, she's more accessible than Leonidas, and that's why I'm actually gonna put her above Leo. Even though Leo hands down does more damage, and yes, he's a better hero for damage dealing, accessibility wise he isn't as accessible, so I think that does take the cake on those two heroes. But that's everyone's opinion, right? That's kind of the whole point of a tier list and why you're probably watching this video, right? So now we've got Hammurabi, and Hammurabi I'm going to put in the B tier too, and he's just as good as these three heroes. Basically he's going to be used as a infantry replacement. You know, he's a filler unit in season 1, and as soon as you get into the next season and you get access to Yodit will replace that Hammurabi for my lineups. So you're going to run a Miyamoto, Yodit, and Tribuana lineup, right? And that's kind of why he's good early game, and he does have a purpose, and maybe later down the line we might see him have a spotlight due to meta changes, right? But at the moment, he's okay early game. He does get outclassed late game, and he's okay mid game, right? So now we've got Justinian here. And I'm going to put Justinian in the B tier too. But the thing is, he is all the way up there, man. He's all the way up there with Sun Tzu and El Cid. The thing is, and this is what's hard to put, and I would put him in an A tier with his obviously counterpart Ashoka. He's easier to obtain than others, I will admit. He's easier to obtain than Ashoka. But when it feels like his overall kit, I feel like his other people do what he does. And the thing is, in the future, I can imagine again actual just heroes that can replace him, which is a very sad thing to think about. And that is my opinion on it. You guys can argue as much as you want in the comment section down below. You can call me an idiot if you want, but I'm going to put him in the B tier. I'm going to be honest, I am. And you guys are going to be looking at this like, what? These guys are all the same tier? I'm like, yep, that's what I feel like in this game. Now, Octavian. He's just like Ashoka, guys, man. He's going to be hard for you guys to obtain for a lot of the Marshal Pikeman lineup. But if you get Octavian, he is a wonder maker. He does some amazing tanking and supportive capabilities with damage, guys, too, as a Marshal Pikeman. And that's what makes it so good with the Kham as well. If you have the Bushra there too, and you can run someone like Julius Caesar if you really wanted to in that slot instead of the Bushra. It's really good. Octavian, really good hero, especially if you can get access to him. He's just a little bit harder to get than most other heroes. Do you know what? I actually changed my mind. I'm going to put Justinian up here too. He deserves it. No, he deserves it. He deserves it. He's not in the same plane, definitely, as these other heroes. Now I'm looking at it, and the more I'm talking about Octavian, he gives me the same light as Justinian. It is what it is. Rani. Now, this one is going to be a weird one, because Rani, I think he's an A-styled hero. I'm going to be honest. I really do think she is. But I don't know where she lies in that role, because she does some really good damage. Yes, she can do some really good support. Yes, she can be combined with multiple heroes. Really good actual flexibility. But can she be replaced really easily? And that's what makes me kind of want to put her in the B category. Because the thing is, I don't think Rani is anywhere near as good as Attila, I'm going to be honest, or Tribuana, or Suleiman, or my Theodoras, or Bellevue, or any of these heroes. She's just there because there's no one else that does her job any better. I'm going to be honest, that's the only thing. So I think I want to put her in the B slot, and I think that's kind of fair to put. Now, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but I honestly don't know where to put Constantine. So I'm going to put Constantine in the D category. Why? I have not seen him being used anywhere. I'm going to be honest, I just haven't. So I don't have any information to put him in any of these categories at all. And I don't want to just base it on his kit. I feel like it's a little bit of a cheat and a cop-out. So for now, I'm just going to put Constantine in D tier and just say to you guys, before you write an angry comment and say, oh my god, why is Constantine in D tier? It's more the fact that he's super hard to access and not many people have that ability to access him. So is he worth the investment to get? Who knows? But until we see actual reports of him on the open field, I'm going to put him in the D tier. Julius Caesar, I'm going to put in the C tier. Same reason as these Marshal infantry. The thing is, he does some really good single target damage for Marshal pikemen. And you could put him with the Kham and with the Octavian for more damage-oriented march. But I don't like that. I honestly don't. I think you need survivability with that march. And the thing is, with his more skills, yes, you get some good customizability. Yes, you can do some really cool things with it. It's just not enough. I just really don't find it enough. He's a turn-based pikeman, which is a lot different compared to all the other different pikemen in this game. But personally, I'm going to leave him there, right? King Arthur. Where is King Arthur? Is he the S tier hero everyone's been waiting on? I don't think he is. I think he's A tier. And that is scary to say. The thing is, what we've noticed from a lot of players, a Mulan march can kill a King Arthur march still. That is the god honest truth. Mulan can obliterate a King Arthur march if you do it right. And that is terrifying. The thing is, what people need to know and no one has tested out, and this is what's going to change him from being an A tier or an S tier hero, is the fact that King Arthur with Lubu could be a disgusting march, but we don't know. We don't know that. The thing is, with King Arthur too, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, it's going to be one of the hardest heroes to obtain in the game. So for that reason alone, even though for power rating, he probably is around an A tier hero, I'm putting him in the D tier. In the dog shit tier. Because there's no way any normal person is earning King Arthur in this game. And I wish there was ways to get sculptures for him all the time through special events, but there isn't. There isn't, and that is the sad, honest truth with King Arthur. So we're going to put him in D tier. We're going to just put him in D tier. And the final hero we got to talk about before the finale, before to get you all confused, is Philip. And I really do like Philip. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put Philip all the way up here in the B tier because he is almost bridging that gap in the A, right? He's really good. And the thing is with Philip, he offers the tactician, infantry, that nice, solid, honestly, support second slot hero you've been waiting for in your lineups. And with a Sun Tzu, with that Philip, with Theodora, you honestly do an absurd amount of damage. You can replace Philip with Charlemagne, and you can get some disgusting combination with that. And that's where the final kind of talking point is, because unfortunately, on here, I don't have Ramses. I don't have, obviously, the other hero we were just talking about there, right? We don't have a few other heroes that are in Season 2 on the medal lineup. I'm going to be honest, we don't. So we're going to have to wait for them to come out so we can obviously put them in on screen for you guys. So I can obviously update this. But for now, I'm actually happy where this list looks. I'm going to be honest, I am. I'm really happy with this list because the way this looks to me is the power damage dealers, the power supports at the very top, right? And who are really good at that job. Same with the support and tanks are really good in the A and B categories. The reason I've put the C category there is they're super niche or they just don't do enough. I'm going to be honest. B, basically everyone's pretty good there and you can use them, but you will most likely replace them in the future with an A or S tier hero. But that is going to be my tier list for Age of Empires Mobile. I can't wait to hear all the hate, all the shit in the comments. It's crazy when one of these videos come out. But just remember, guys, you can make your own tier list if you want and post it on my Discord for everyone else to critique too. And on top of that, this tier list will evolve in time. We just need to wait for more Empire versus Empire content. We need to wait for more Pioneer test server so we can obviously test marches and get a more good feel of what people can do in this game. And obviously, over time, it's going to evolve. So if you enjoyed my very first tier list for Age of Empires Mobile, you enjoyed the concept, you liked how things were popping up on screen, and you just enjoyed the nice run through all of these heroes, which was insane, smash a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And if I've missed off any heroes, put it in the comment section down below and I will tell you where I put that hero and obviously an explanation why I'm going to put that hero in that category. So until then, stay safe, guys. Stay sneaky. Peace out.